Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? This is your man Fetch the Great checking in once again. Let's get straight to it, shall we? Tonight, we got a great topic. We have an amazing topic tonight, and it's one that is extremely important, especially in modern civilization, right? Let's talk about the theory of unconditional love. You know, we always say that that is always the goal, right? We all want to be loved unconditionally. And let's think about what that truly means to be loved unconditionally. That means that regardless what you do, regardless how much you mess up, regardless how bad of a situation you may currently be in from a financial or even mental standpoint, regardless how bad you might be, how bad off you may be, how much you may be struggling in life, how badly you may be trying to get it all together. Regardless what you do, you will still be loved just the same. Think about that. Think about what that really means. And here's the thing about it. We use that term so often. Like, yeah, man, I love you unconditionally. But in actuality, how many of us actually can say that and mean it? I mean that in regards to several people. When it comes to my daughter, obviously, I love my daughter unconditionally. I love my parents unconditionally. I, I that might be it. I'm not gonna lie. That list might be that damn short to me. Now, I have a brother. I love my brother. I love my brother for sure, for shit show. But is it unconditional? I don't know. Could he do something that would make that love waver? Who knows? Perhaps. Hopefully that never happens. Hopefully we never have to find out. But I just want you to really think logically for a second. Really think deeply about this. How many people can you honestly say that you love unconditionally? It's a very hard question to answer when you really start going deep into it. And with that being said, I want to really pull back the layers on this particular topic tonight and discuss it in detail, because it's one of those questions that it's hard to answer when you really start thinking about it. Who do you love unconditionally? And more importantly, who in your life could you honestly say loves you unconditionally? Could you fuck up royally and still be okay with this person? Will they still love you the same? Think about that. It's not as simple as it may seem. And with that being said, I want to take a look at a video that's going to help illustrate this very point that I'm making. Because when we talk about the sanctity of marriage, we talk about, you know, when you're taking those wedding vows, it's supposed to be, in essence, it's supposed to be for better or for worse, in health and in sickness, for richer or for poor. That's the vows that you take when you get married, correct? Yet what you're about to see is going to show you the mindset that so many women in this country have when it comes to marriage. It is not actually based off of unconditional love as it should be. It's all very much conditional. Let's take a quick look at this video, and I want y'all to give me your thoughts on this, okay? We're going to break it all down. We're going to go deep into it, okay? Let's get it. Let me pull this video up, and I'm going to get to the comments shortly. All right, let's get straight to the video. Let's get straight into it, man. This is a great topic. Let's look at this video. Tell me your thoughts. Oh, come on, Xfinity. I pay y'all $200 a month for this. What the fuck is going on right now? Is it buffering? Nah, this shit crazy. Hold on, y'all. I apologize. I don't understand why this shit is not playing right now. Oh, let me.
When I met my husband, I told him what I expect from a man. The number one rule with being with me is you have to provide. When I met my husband, I told him what I expect from a man. The number one rule with being with me is you have to provide. So my husband ended up losing his job. So a month went by, and he looked for me to pay the bills. So I was going to consider it if he gave me the money back for paying the bills. And he told me no. He felt like he shouldn't have to do that. What do you mean? When I told you, as a man, I expect you to provide. Under no circumstances will I ever touch bills as long as I got a husband. And I told him, baby, your money is my money, and my money is my money. And so he didn't have any more money, and that was a problem for me.
One more time.
When I met my husband, I told him what I expect from a man. The number one rule with being with me is you have to provide. So my husband ended up losing his job. So a month went by, and he looked for me to pay the bills. So I was going to consider it if he gave me the money back for paying the bills. And he told me no. He felt like he shouldn't have to do that. What do you mean? When I told you, as a man, I expect you to provide. Under no circumstances will I ever touch bills as long as I got a husband. And I told him, baby, your money is my money, and my money is my money. And so he didn't have any more money, and that was a problem for me.
One more time, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on this. I'm about to get into this. We about to go in.
When I met my husband, I told him what I expect from a man. The number one rule with being with me is you have to provide.
What's going on? Hold on. What's up with this fucking video? 1 second, y'all.
When I met my husband, I told him what I expect from a man. The number one rule with being with me is you have to provide. So my husband ended up losing his job. So a month went by, and he looked for me to pay the bills. So I was going to consider it if he gave me the money back for paying the bills. And he told me no. He felt like he shouldn't have to do that. What do you mean? When I told you, as a man, I expect you to provide. Under no circumstances will I ever touch bills as long as I got a husband. And I told him, baby, your money is my money, and my money is my money. And so he didn't have any more money, and that was a problem for me.
Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. That shit makes my blood boil, and I wasn't even married to the bitch. So let's get into that video. That video pisses me off, man. One more time. Just one more time, y'all. One more time. Let's watch it one more time.
When I met my husband, I told him what I expect from a man. The number one rule with being with me is you have to provide. So my husband ended up losing his job. So a month went by, and he looked for me to pay the bills. So I was going to consider it if he gave me the money back for paying the bills. And he told me no. He felt like he shouldn't have to do that. What do you mean? When I told you, as a man, I expect you to provide. Under no circumstances will I ever touch bills as long as I got a husband. And I told him, baby, your money is my money, and my money is my money. And so he didn't have any more money, and that was a problem for me.
All right. Isn't that ironic? This is her husband, the man that she claimed that she loved with all of her heart. She took all these vows, like I stated earlier, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, for richer or for poor. And yet when the fucking money ran out, all of a sudden this bitch was nowhere to be found. Isn't that ironic? Isn't that ironic? How love is supposed to be conditional in the sanctity of marriage. And yet in that scenario, as we just saw there, the moment that man fell on hard times, lost his job, all of a sudden her love just magically disappeared, just magically dwindled away. That is an extremely important example of the mentality that so many women have in this country. And it makes me wonder, do men ever, at any point in life, do men ever actually receive unconditional love? I would say, for the most part, no. I would think, all right, when it comes to unconditional love, right, I think there's only 3 entities that receive truly unconditional love. If you disagree, let me know. Children receive unconditional love. Women get the privilege of receiving unconditional love, and even pets receive unconditional love. However, when it comes to men in this country, we do not get that luxury by any stretch of the imagination. If you are a man, it is almost hardwired in your brain. You already know that you are not going to be loved unless you are able to hit certain metrics and hit certain benchmarks in life. You are only going to be loved for as much usefulness as you provide and as many resources as you provide. You have to be extremely valuable as a man to truly be loved. That love is not conditional. That love is not unconditional. There are many conditions that come along with it. As a man, you have this constant burden of performance that must be met in order to be loved. Or if not, as you saw in that video that we were just watching a few seconds ago, once that man lost his job, fell on hard times, this wife that he thought loved him, that he thought was truly going to be down for him and in his corner if he ever ran into hard times, that bitch disappeared. This is his wife. This was not just some chick he was dating. This is his wife talking crazy like that. She said that, oh, I felt like he lost his job and I was not obligated to pay for any bills. whatever happened to for richer or for poor? I guess she missed that part of the vows when they took them, right? It's disgusting, absolutely disgusting. And I wanted to provide a real life account from my life that helped me understand this in pure 4K. I got this wake up call about a decade ago. And I was dating this girl, if you want to call it that. it was really a situationship, if I'm just keeping it a stack. I was talking to this girl. I didn't want to make her my girlfriend, but she was like a girl that I was the main one that I was dealing with, right? And, you know, I had this job. I was in the mortgage industry still at that point. And if you know anything about the mortgage industry, it is extremely cyclical. It's booming at one second, and then once the rates start getting hiked up, all of a sudden the sky is falling and everybody starts getting their fucking job slashed. And once that starts happening, it's just a matter of time before you get laid off. This is just how the mortgage industry is, guys. Anyways, I was doing very well. I was working in the mortgage industry, and then as fate would have it, there was a huge downturn, and then my entire office got laid off. So I went from being this high earner to all of a sudden being out on my ass, and get this, with no severance at all at that point. So I'm on my ass. I'm thinking that I can confide in this chick, you know what I'm saying? She's all about me. She's in love with me, head over heels, this, that, and the third. She wants me to wife her up. She wants me to take her seriously, this, that, and the third. So I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe I should give Shorty a chance. Maybe I should actually confide in her and tell her what I'm going through. So I tell her, you know, damn, I just got laid off today. And at first, you know, she was real sweet about it. She was supportive. She was very supportive. She's like, oh, baby, it's okay. You know, you're going to bounce back. You're very smart. You're very accomplished. You got all this education. You're going to find another job quick. I'm not even worried about that. I got you. So I'm feeling okay. All right. Maybe I got me a real one here. Maybe I should take this chick serious, right? So, you know, time goes on. Let's fast forward a month. I've been applying for tons of jobs, you know, over and over and over, just putting in tons and tons of applications every single day. So it's not like I'm sitting on my hands doing nothing. I am making a concerted effort every single day, trying to find another viable job so I can get back to working. And at that point, this was back in, it's like I said, almost a decade ago. It's like 2016 or 17. And the market was not that great. So I'm applying for all of these jobs. Every now and then I get a few calls. You know how to grind this. If anybody's ever been out there in the job market when it was a down market, sometimes it's hard. You got to put hundreds of applications in just to get a few calls back. So even with tons of qualifications, right? Because there were tons of people who got laid off. So I'm applying for these jobs day in, day out. And then 1 month goes by, 2 months goes by. And it's right around that 2 to 3 month mark, I would say, I'm out of work. And I'm no bum. I'm still maintaining because I have savings and investments that I'm still living off of. But at the same time, it was like there was a slow shift in her perception of me. In her perception of me, you know, even though she knows that I'm making a concerted effort to find another job, to get off my ass and get back to working, she started slowly but surely changing her disposition towards me. Slowly but surely, this bitch started kind of making slick remarks, slick jabs at me, like kind of like trying to emasculate me, talk to me crazy all of a sudden. And mind you, this bitch was nothing more than an MA. She was like a medical assistant making like $16 an hour. So it's not like she had a great job or anything. But once they see a man and a man has fallen on hard times, it gives women the incentive to try to take that opportunity to make him feel lesser than, to try to make you feel like, oh, you know, you're not what you know you are. Like, that doesn't work on a guy like me because I'm just extremely confident in myself and my abilities, my achievements. I know who the fuck I am. I think I am him regardless what my situation may be. So that type of shit didn't work on me, but I still noticed little slight, you know, slick comments she would make this here and there. And you know, I had to check her when she did it, of course, but I noticed it. And, you know, we had a blow up about it. And then I remember we had an argument one day and she said, oh, whatever. That's why your broke ass can't even get another job. Excuse me? That's when broke? Never that, bitch. But at the same time, I was taken aback by the fact that she had the unmitigated gall and the audacity to even say that to me. And that's when I learned an extremely important lesson about feminine nature. A woman will be there for you as long as you're winning, as long as you are steadily moving your way up that hill, achieving, earning. A woman will stick right by your side and she'll make it seem as if she's truly down for the cause, really down with your program. But the moment you fall on hard times, there is absolutely a shot clock that you must abide by before that woman starts completely switching up and disrespecting you and turning into a woman that you never thought you would be dealing with. I learned an extremely valuable lesson in that particular scenario. Now, of course, I bounced back because, I'm a real nigga. I'm a winner. I don't stay down for long. I'm a winner. I win at life. I have this laser focus and drive that I absolutely must be great. Mediocrity is unacceptable to me. So I'm always going to bounce back. And I did. And once I did, I shitted all over that bitch and I dropped her like a bad habit. And I reminded her once I did find further employment, I ended up getting an even better job that paid even more than what I was making before. And I reminded that bitch when I was down, you kicked me, bitch. You tried to kick me when I was down. You tried to make me think that I'm not who the fuck I am. I will never forget that, and I will never forgive you. Now you go back to the fucking apartments, go back to the fucking projects where you come from, bitch, because when I found you, God damn it, bitch, you was barefoot on a goddamn railroad track with a straw in your mouth, shorty. Now you want to talk crazy to me? What the fuck? When I met you, bitch, you had nothing. And you got the nerve to talk crazy to me when I fall on hard times? I reminded her of all of this, right? Because it blew my mind that she switched it up like that on me just because I had been laid off. But even though I made it past that whole situation, like I said, I bounced back within a matter of months, got an even better job. But I learned an extremely important lesson about life and about women when I went through that, because that taught me how women truly treat men. They say that I'm down for you. I'll be there for you, baby, regardless. But when the chips are actually down, when the sky is actually falling, when shit goes south, how many women are actually going to be down for the ride, regardless how rough the road is? Not many at all. That's why I say men do not get that luxury of being loved unconditionally. We do not get that luxury, fellas. It just is what it is. It's not even something that we should complain or sulk about. It just is what it is. If you are a man, just know that there is a constant burden of performance that you have to be cognizant of. You have to perform as a man. You have to provide as a man. You have to make money as a man just to get the respect from women, just to get the respect from the world. Because a man who is not doing these things, a man who is not constantly striving to achieve, a man who is not constantly working on leveling up, a man who is not taking care of his family, a man who can't do for self, is not actually looked upon as even being a man. That's just what it is. So I didn't bitch about it. No, I don't bitch about it. No, I never bitched about it at all. I just absorb it and I pay close attention because it shows me who's solid and who's not. Now, are there women who actually would? Are there actually women out there who absolutely would uplift their man if he falls on hard times? Absolutely. But those women are actually rare. Those women are extremely rare to find. They are like needles in haystacks. They're hard to find. Those real women that are solid, those real women that are actually worth wifing up and marrying, those women are extremely hard to find. More often than not, you're going to get a woman who only loves you conditionally. As long as you can do for her, then she loves you. But the moment things change, the moment that amazing job that you have goes away, or the moment that you get extremely sick and ill and you need her to actually wait on you and take care of you, all of a sudden she disappears into thin air. That's the majority of women. Nothing that I'm trying to be negative about, guys. I'm just telling you what the harsh reality of life is. Women are fleeting. Women are fleeting and they only love men conditionally 99% of the time. Now, like I said earlier, if you're a child, if you're a woman, or you're a pet, you actually get the luxury of getting that unconditional love a lot of the times. We actually love those three things unconditionally. But men, nah, you don't get the opportunity or the luxury to be loved unconditionally. You always have to be providing value, and you always have to be providing resources. One or the other, or preferably both, just in order to be loved conditionally. Don't even think about being loved unconditionally. That's out of the fucking question. That's just what it is, bro. I'm going to keep it short, simple, and sweet. That's what it is. That's a life lesson that I learned the hard way. And you know what's funny? You know what's funny is that I actually had the exact same experience, right? Because like I said, in the mortgage industry, bro, regardless how great of a performer you are, no matter how fantastic you are at your job, fantastic you are, how great you are, how great your numbers are, once the rates start going up, you can just look around, the blood's on the wall. The writing's on the wall and the blood's on the wall, because it's about to get very messy. Everybody's about to get their fucking job slashed. So it's an extremely lucrative industry, but it's also an extremely cutthroat, hectic industry as well. So I've been laid off 3 or 4 times in the mortgage industry. That's why I had to get out altogether. And I went straight to a different aspect of finance. But anyways, I experienced that exact same scenario once more with a different chick, right? And it wasn't quite the same, but the fact is that once I got laid off from a job, there was a shot clock. It wasn't something that was spoken about. It was more so something that was just understood. Like, you can see at first, when you first lose your job, they're understanding, they're supportive. They're telling you all the things you want to hear. They say, it's okay. Oh, I love you, baby. I love you. I'm going to be here. I got you until you get on your feet. I got you. Even though I would never even allow a woman to take care of me. That's another thing. I have way too much pride as a man to ever allow a woman to take care of me. So I always have a lot of fail safes in place to make sure that I have a surplus of funds that I can tap into in the scenario that I needed for a rainy day. So I was prepared. The majority of people on this planet are not prepared for the fucking sky to fall. And that's just what it is. But I was. So I was able to maintain for several months until I found a better job. But even still, it's just the fact that they know that you're unemployed temporarily, that they start feeling comfortable saying shit to you that they never would have said before, because they know that you don't play that shit. So, and when they do those things, don't get me wrong, regardless, when they try to say slick shit, you got to check those bitches just off top. You have to. You can never let a woman disrespect you. Once you let a woman disrespect you, they start getting comfortable with that. And once they start getting comfortable with that, they start thinking that they can emasculate you and talk to you like you're not a man anymore. Never let shit like that slide, bro. Ever. So anyways, I just wanted to tell y'all about this particular experience that I've had in life when it comes to this particular topic of unconditional love. Because men don't get that luxury. Women do, children do, pets do, men, we unfortunately do not. Like I said, it's nothing to be angry about, nothing to sulk over. It's nothing to be bitter about. It's just something that is important for every single man to understand. There is a burden of performance in place for us all as men. We have to provide. We have to protect. We have to provide value. We have to provide resources. We have to be leveling up time and time again. We have to have that drive and that ambition to be the best versions of ourselves at all times, fellas. Because if you're not on your game, if you're not at your absolute best every day, and you just happen to fall on hard times, guess what? There's a 99% chance that that woman that you're with will only be around for just a little bit longer before she starts disrespecting you, talking to you crazy, treating you like you never thought she would ever think of treating you, all because of the fact that she's slowly but surely losing respect for the fact that you aren't the man that she initially met. So with that being said, you must make sure that you are going hard every single fucking day so that that never happens. We have to perform. That's just what it is, man. All right. All right. I'm going to end it there. Just wanted to get that off my chest. As always, please like the video and subscribe and comment. Join the conversation. Let me know what your thoughts are. All right. As always, y'all stay safe, but stay dangerous. This is your man, Thatch the Great. I'll holla. Peace.